My name is Julie from 1 BSB 1B. So, our my topic for today is all about types of communication. So, let's start to intrapersonal communication. So, what is intrapersonal communication? So, interpersonal communication is the kind of communications that occurs within us. It involves thoughts, feelings, and the way we look at ourselves. Because interpersonal communication is centered in self. You are the only sender receiver. So the message is made of your thoughts and feelings. And the channel is your brain, which process what you are thinking and feeling. There is a feedback in the sense that you talk to yourself or discard certain ideas and replace them with others. Even though you are not directly communicating with others. In interpersonal communication, the people and experience you have had determine how you talk to yourself. For examples, if you had a good day, you are likely to look at yourself in a positive way. If teacher was disappointed with your work, or if you had a fight with a fellow students, you are likely to focus more on your depression or anger. You can never look at yourself without being influenced, be, being uh being influenced by the relationship you have with others. To the interpersonal communication that belongs to type of communications. So interpersonal communication occurs when we communicate on one-to-one basis, usually in an informal, unstructured setting. This kind of communication occurs mostly between two people who thought uh, it may include more than two. Interpersonal communication uses all the elements of the communications process. In a in a conversation between friends, for example, each brings his or her background and experience to the conversations. Outing the conversation is each functions as a sender, receiver. Their message consists of both verbal and nonverbal symbols. The channels they use the most are sight and sounds because interpersonal communication is between two or a few people. It offers the greatest opportunity for feedback. Psychological noise is likely to be minimal because each person can see whether the other is distracted. The person involved in the conversations have just to check that the message is being perceived correctly. So, interpersonal communication usually takes place in informal and comfortable settings. So, let's proceed to the small group communication. So, what is a small group communication? So, small group communications occurs when a small number of people meet to solve a problem. The group must be small enough so that each member in a group or in the group has a chance to interact with all of the other members because small groups are made up of several senders receivers. The communications process is more complicated than in interpersonal communications. With more people sending message, there are more chances for confusion. Messages are also more structured in small groups, use the same channels as interpersonal communications, however, and there is also a good deal of opportunity for feedback in view of their problem solving nature. Small groups usually meet in a more formal setting than people involved in interpersonal communication. proceed to the public communication. So, what is the public communication? So, in a public communication, the senders, receiver, the speaker sends a message or the speech to audience. The speaker usually delivers a highly structured message using the same channels as in interpersonal and small group communication. In a public communication, however, the channels are more segregated than in interpersonal communications. The voice is louder and the gestures are more expansive because the audience is bigger. The speaker might also use additional visual channels such as slides, flip charts, and so on. Generally, the opportunity for verbal feedback in public communication is limited. The audience members may have a chance to ask questions at the end of the speech, but usually they are not free to address the speaker as he or she is talking. However, they can send nonverbal feedback. If they like what the speaker is saying, they may interrupt the speech with applause. If they like what the speaker is saying, they may interrupt the speech with applause. If they dislike it, they may move around a lot or simply stop paying attention. In most public communication, the setting is formal communication. So, nonverbal communications includes the gestures, facial expressions, movements of arts, etc.